What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Amos. In this video, I'm going to show you guys all the trades you could have caught today on Monday, September 22nd, 2025. So today I was 1 for 2. I took one loss with the VIP and one win with my live accounts. So let me show you guys all the trades you could have caught, the mistakes that I made, and the best trades basically of the day. So going on here, the first trade that I ended up taking was a short. Of course, we had equal highs with the all-time highs, but usually when we see this and when we create equal highs, we don't push towards those equal highs immediately. Usually we get a healthy retracement back towards a good PD array, we hold, and then we push towards those equal highs. So right here, when I saw the rejection of this buy side, of course we created equal highs, but we rejected this buy side pretty aggressively, this resistance level, and then we had a down close candle. We had this unfilled gap right below us, so I was confident that the aggression from the sellers here was going to be enough to see this internal fair value gap, and this internal bullish fair value gap was going to be the fuel in order to push price up towards the all-time highs and basically the equal highs right here that were above. Unfortunately, it wasn't the case. I got squeezed on that play. Nice market structure shift, shorted right here, tight stop, and ended up being stopped out right here. Okay, and I was targeting the unfilled 15-minute gap. Was it a bad play? No, it was quite aggressive for sure, counter trend, but usually those kind of plays end up working in my favor. Today it didn't. Okay, so right here I got squeezed. Right after I got stopped out, there was a good opportunity to go long from because you rejected this low perfectly into a 5-minute gap. Of course, this was not the main principle behind the trade. It was really based on what happened on the 3-minute chart. Okay, so we had equal highs above us, and then we failed to see this, fair value gap in this breaker hold, which this is what I wanted to see. We deep retraced, and then we created a 3-minute V signature inversion back towards equal highs and all-time highs. So this could have been a really, really good entry to target all-time highs and those equal highs above you. All right, so go along here, and your stop loss would be right below this candle's low. Take profit at a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Okay, so right here, let's take a look at what happened. And as you guys can see, in 6 minutes, you would have hit the target. I didn't take this trade, unfortunately. I got stopped out on the longs, on the short, sorry, just before. But this right here, right after I got stopped out, was a good opportunity. Why? Because the 3-minute structure was perfect. Okay, we had a V signature, which is the best possible lower time frame confirmation ever, in my opinion, on NQ. Basically, which is you create a fair value gap with 3 candles. Right here, you see 1, 2, 3. You create this bearish fair value gap, and the 4th candle goes and disrespects the bearish gap, which creates a lot of aggression from those buyers. And then you're most likely going to go back towards the most recent high. Okay, good. This was the second trade you could have caught using, a similar framework. Then usually what I'm doing for the rest of the day, I'm scalping internal gaps, I'm scalping structure, and scalping, those candles on the 15. So right here, what I saw was this 15-minute fair value gap being created, which is bullish. And then I know that when we create bullish gaps, we usually tend to go back towards those 15-minute gaps to fill them, okay? Because this is the fuel that drives the market up or even down, okay? Usually when we create gaps and we push up aggressively to the upside, if we can't close above the previous candle's high and we start rejecting, this is a good sign that you will find, a retracement back towards a bullish PD array. Okay, so right here, this is the moment where you can start thinking about going short. When this new candle opens up, when this new candle opens up and it shoots up above the previous candle's high and starts, trading below the opening price, this is a moment where you're like, okay, we have a power of 3 on the 15-minute chart, and we're distributing below the opening price, and we're rejecting the previous candle's high. We have an unfilled gap right below us. We should see this breaker hold in order to create new lows back into this unfilled gap. This is basically what you can have in mind when you have those kind of setups happening. So then you sweep this buy side liquidity, you push up, and then right here, exactly right here, this is where you create that change in the state of delivery. This is when also you flip below the opening price of that 15-minute candle. You also create that 1-minute inversion fair value gap. In my opinion, true honest opinion, this was a way better play than what I took in the morning. Why? Because of the amount of confirmations I had towards my unfilled gap. Okay, the unfilled gap in this scenario was really close compared to the one here that was almost almost 20 handles away from me. Okay, so here in this case, really good trade, open high, flip below the opening price. So it is a power of 3 of the 15-minute candle, open high, flip below the open. So we created the up wick of a future bearish candle. This candle was bullish right here, flipped below the open. Right now, if this breaker holds, we're in early in a move that will result in us going back towards this unfilled gap. Really good. So here you go short, stop loss right above this candle's high. Take profit at the unfilled 15-minute gap for a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Okay, as simple as that. So then you hold and then you go back towards the unfilled 15. Really, really clean trade. Possibly one of the most and the cleanest trade you had today, taking this unfilled gap scenario. Okay, you don't necessarily need to be extremely aggressive. You only need one extremely good opportunity on the day. And this one, in my opinion, was the best opportunity when it comes to scalping an unfilled gap on the 15. This candle closed, open high, flip, inverse, breaker, and then you had the move down. Perfect trade. Okay, so then let me keep going on the day. You had other opportunities right here to go short from. Okay, so exactly right here. Okay, you guys can see that we are creating bullish fair value gaps. So now you were basically bearish because you want to find signs of weakness at those highs in order to trade back towards these unfilled gaps. Okay, and you want to trade back towards the most recent unfilled gap because this is your drawn liquidity. Okay, if you hit this most recent unfilled gap, you have no reason on going back towards this one. Okay, you should be break even or you should take out your profits. So right here you can go on this 1 minute chart, and then right after that, you guys can see we're pushing up, pushing down. We have a lot of accumulation here in this case, not necessarily the type of action you want to be trading, of course, but still an opportunity that you could have caught. So let me just write down this 15-minute gap perfectly. So you see this candle is failing to accept price above the previous candle's high. This tells me that, okay, there's absorption at this level. The sellers are stepping in and those buyers are starting to get absorbed. So then I go down to this 1 minute chart and I want to find signs of aggression from those sellers in order to trade back towards what? This unfilled 15, those equal lows. Good. So then I can go short as soon as I break here. I have this accumulation phase and then sweep this internal high, break below this low. So I have a high, low, higher low, lower low, order block. So then I can go either short at market, targeting this 15-minute gap, not being a dick for a tick, or I could wait for the pullback towards structure, break and retest towards the order block, and then scalp my way down towards this unfilled 15. So right here, really good short opportunity, stop loss right here, take profit for a 1-to-1 risk to reward inside this unfilled gap. Okay. And as you guys can see, in few minutes we hit the target. Why was it? Why didn't I take, let's say, a setup right here? Because you basically want a strong break. You want a strong break. You want a good reason on why you should enter the chart. This is basically a good concept you need to understand. Displacement is extremely important. Extremely important. Why? Because you don't even need to read order flow or look at footprint charts in order to understand this concept. If you have a big fat candle pointing towards an unfilled gap that just swept buy side and is rejecting the previous candle's high, you know there's a whole lot of sellers inside this candle. You don't need, footprint and this and that. You understood that you just broke structure to the downside towards an area that is a freaking magnet and that needs to rebalance in order for the market to be efficient. Okay, in order for the market to find fair value. Okay, so here was the good trade. Here was the candle where you would want to anticipate those shorts coming in into this unfilled gap. And see the framework, it works. The framework is a framework that works, that is consistent, that you can scalp every single day using it. So don't be scared if you lose or you're in a small loss streak with this system. 15-minute gaps will always get created in a day and will always get filled. All right, just find the right one, find the right opportunity, find the moment where you should stay out, find the moment where you should put your risk on. All right, So here was another trade you could have caught, scalping this unfilled 15. Why was it a good trade? This candle right here was showing us extreme signs of failure from those buyers. Buyers were getting squeezed, sellers responsive sellers were stepping in, and we couldn't see any acceptance above this 15-minute candle's high. Okay, and that tells us that if we have a gap below, then this is most likely the moment where we're going to find resistance here to trade back towards this gap in order to have enough fuel to push up or down in the market. Okay, extremely important. And then same thing right here, exactly the same shit. You have the same thing happening. We have 15-minute bullish fair value gaps being created, and yes, it is a trendy day that was bullish, but usually if you create bullish fair value gaps, you have bearish retracements, which are, in my opinion, really good plays. Okay, capitulation plays and plays of that are really good. So here in this case, you guys see this 15-minute fair value gap is being created. New candle is opening, push up. All right, we sweep this buy side. We still had no clear signs of aggression from those sellers to enter short. Then right here, so look at this, you're sweeping the buy side without tapping the 15-minute gap, and then you immediately create this big fat candle to the downside. What do you think is going to happen next? You need to short right now, either right now or wait for a small pullback right here. Tight stop loss, take profit being at a 1-to-1 into the 15-minute gap. Okay, right here, and you guys see price going back towards the TP. Okay, so right here, why did I basically said that you needed to see a small retracement? You don't necessarily want to engage so low and have like a risk to reward of 0.47. This candle was so aggressive that you would require at least a small retest to have a risk to reward that makes sense. Okay, you want your stop loss to be either at this candle's high or at this candle's body. Take profit out of 1-to-1. So here it would be, this kind of scenario. Okay, so short on a limit order right there. Okay, stop loss right above this candle's high, and take profit right here. I don't know why the limit order is here, but okay. And then you take out your profits. All right, but you usually even here in this scenario, you had this 1 minute fair value gap that was holding price, so could have been yet another opportunity to to go short from. Okay, so this was it for the day. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and learned something new. If you want to see me live trade the strategy from 10 to 11 a.m. every single day in my Discord, click the link down below to join my Discord, which is called PFT, which is Pockets Full Trading, where I document every single trade that I take live with my team, and I try to go and do some challenges where I go from $0 to $3,000 and pass challenges on Tradeify, etc. So make sure to tune in those. Also, if you want to support me, support the channel, make sure to use code AMOS with Tradeify. They're by far the best platform in the game. You guys already know this. You have accounts that are called Lightning. You don't even need to pass any evaluations. As soon as you pay, you're immediately on the road to get your first payout. I appreciate you guys so much for all the love that you've been showing me. A lot of giveaways are coming in. Thank you guys so much, and I see you guys on the next one. Peace out.